Howdy everybody, it's your pal Misty. Sit back, relax, and enjoy while I talk about how to not make y'all be so low. Not really. Well, y'all are just all crooked this morning. What's going on? Hi everybody. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know how y'all got crooked. But I thought I would take this morning to talk once again about storms. This time, tornadoes specifically. I don't like them. Now granted, I don't want to be in an earthquake, because if the earth moves, Misty's moving. I can't. I don't know. There's something in my brain that just really seriously goes, no, that's not a thing I think I can put up with. But next to that, I hate tornadoes. Now, the biggest one that went through from my childhood was actually right after I had graduated high school. In 94, we had a big F4 tornado that came through Lancaster and took out a big portion of the town, especially the older pieces. It was like the storm was looking for all the old wood houses and just took them out. But it's funny how even growing up, when you grow up in that area, you know, we would have tornado drills. We would have tornado practices, you know, just like you have drills for other things, fire alarms or whatever. We would have tornado drill alarms. You don't get to do that as an adult. There's no tornado drill alarms as an adult, but as a child there are. And I can remember there being a tornado somewhere close to us when I was in elementary school. I don't know what grade it was. I want to say 3rd or 4th. You ever have those times when you're like, I have a pretty good memory from far back. Now, I don't know what I did 20 minutes ago, but like 25 years, pretty good memory. I don't know how that works. Don't ask me. It doesn't make any sense to me either. But I want to say it was 3rd or 4th grade. And we got put in the art room or the choir room. For some reason, I'm remembering that, and I vaguely remember there was like one of our light pole was damaged, or our flagpole was damaged at West Main. I don't know. It's one of those things where you think you remember, but do you really remember that, or was it just a drill? I don't think so. I think that happened. I think there were storms like all around us, but none of them hit us in Lancaster. But we had some high winds. And then, do you have those really old memories that are just like flashes of things that may not be true? So, Mama, I'm going to need you on this one, because I feel like this is a true story, but I don't know. I feel like when we were at that daycare on Pleasant Run, kind of close to where the high school was when I went to school there, I feel like I remember a tornado, and we got in a hall. This sounds even crazy to me, so tell me if I'm making this up in my brain, but for some reason I have flashes of being in a hall with like mattresses over us. Not like big mattresses, but like padded floor. You'll know what I'm talking about. I don't know what they're called, but like, you know, the ones that all the kids use for naps and stuff. And maybe even thicker mattresses, like maybe mattresses from, because I remember the red and blue ones a little bit, but it seems like I remember thicker mattresses, almost like you would get from a bed. Oh, maybe were they from kids' beds? Like, what do you call a kid's bed? you know, I can't think of the words. It is a little early, but I wanted to put this one up today because I don't like storms and I wanted to talk about what I remember. But something else that I remember about that, for whatever reason, is it feels like the window was open and there was a glass on the windowsill. It might have been plastic, but there was a cup on the windowsill and the window was open, and we were in a hall and there were mattresses over us, but some of them seemed kind of big, like from a baby bed. I don't know. Anyway, so the one that I have the most clear memory of course, is the one in 94. I just thought I'd share those brief memories and see if anybody can oh, I can't say it. If anybody else can tell me that I'm right. Because I can't say the other word for some reason this morning, and so we're just going to skip it and move on, because that's what you do when words are hard. There is another video that I need to pull up. I'm having so much problem syncing the audio. Oh, it's really frustrating me because I want to get it up, but I might just not. We'll see. Anyway, so the one in 94, it wasn't so much the storm itself, because the storm we kind of missed. I was working on something for school, a paper or something. My dad was watching TV, my mom was asleep, and then we kept hearing, and then we just kind of all went to bed, and we kept hearing sirens back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So my mom and dad went to check on Mama, and they wouldn't let them pass through the main road, so they knew, you know, that she wasn't in one of the good areas, so they took all the back roads to get to her, and luckily she was fine. But I can just remember all night long just hearing sirens back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was really surreal. Tornadoes are a weird thing, man. They'll just pick one house and take it out, and then just leave the one next to it with no damage at all. Same with trees. Take out a big 100-year-old tree, leave the little sapling just right there, like nothing ever happened to it. But I think the crazy part about that was all of the storms after that storm. Like, we kept having potentials of storms, and I can remember being out in the front yard freaking out, and basically my mama told me don't do that anymore, or she's gonna take me out. Kind of, sort of, basically what was meant by that. I was freaking everybody out. So here are the rules if you're ever in a tornado. I don't think I've shared that on this channel before. So I know we're already through the one last night. I don't know how bad it was. Hopefully nobody died from the storms. I haven't heard. But if you are in a tornado, here are the rules that will make the tornado a little bit easier. Rule number 1, wear clothes that fit. Because if your clothes are loose, you may lose your clothes if you're seriously in a tornado. Rule number 2, get somewhere centralized in your house if you can, or at least in a space with no walls. No walls. Definitely have walls. Please have walls. With no windows. And then make sure that you have on your shoes. Hold on, we're gonna park. Oh, I can't see the lines. Oh, they're there. Make sure you have on your shoes, because the tornadoes throw up all kinds of crap, and twigs and glass, and wear shoes. And then finally, have a hairbrush, because you never know when you're going to be on TV. Right, Mama? And you don't want to look silly on TV. I have been on TV. I've been on national TV in parades. Carrying banners. I've been on the front page of the newspaper, but I've never been on the news. And I hope to kind of keep it that way. Just between you, me, and the fence post. So, I hope y'all are all having a great week. Whenever you see this, because we're not telling what day it is. But there were storms last night, so you can go back in history and maybe figure it out. I don't know how much do you care. So I don't want to go inside. I like my work, but I'd rather just talk to y'all for a little bit longer. But we're not going to. We're going to go inside. We're going to get to work. We're going to have an awesome day. And like this video, if you haven't already, comment down below. Have you ever been in a tornado? Mama, was I right? Were there mattresses on top of us? And were the windows open? And does anybody remember the one at the school in Lancaster and West Main? I feel like that was a true story too. But we were put in someplace weird. I just can't remember what room it was. It feels like there was books in there or something, but it wasn't the library. Anyway, I don't know. Whatever. We'll move on from that. Subscribe if you know how. Sherry, I'll hook you up in Glenrose. Don't worry. It'll just be like 9 more months. But I'll keep sharing these videos on Facebook so anybody can watch them that's a friend of mine on Facebook. Until next time, I'll see y'all real soon.